All right. I know that my last few episodes have been for my freaks and my stalkers who come to me for dating advice and want to know who I'm dating and what I'm doing. But we're going back to our roots today. And this episode is for the cinephiles. That's my attention! Welcome back to Opinionated. I'm your host, Julia, and this podcast, at its root, while we talk about dating and pop culture, is a movie-based podcast, and we are overdue for a What's in Theaters refresh. So we're keeping it simple today. I'm going to go over every single thing that is currently in theaters, and I'm going to tell you whether or not I think it's worth your time to go watch it. Starting off strong with Paw Patrol. Did I see this movie in theaters? Yes. Yes, I did. Was I sober? No. Was it good? Yes. If you have kids, or you're a kid at heart, or you just love to see a silly little cartoon while a little, if you know what I mean, this movie is so much fun. It's so much fun, and it has no business, honestly, being as good as it does. And if you like dogs, I'm sure you'll like it. Number 2 is Mutiny. I actually fell asleep during this movie, so I don't even think I logged this on my Letterboxd. I'm so sorry, but it's just not for me. It's really just not for me. Something I've learned about myself is that if a movie revolves around the trials and tribulations of an older white gentleman dealing with issues that he kind of caused himself for himself, I don't really care. I find a hard time caring and empathizing about the story and the plot and the characters. And this movie, while it's only an hour and a half, dragged for me. I felt like this movie was so fucking long. So I'm so sorry, but I don't think this is worth your time. Next, we have Spa Weekend. This movie is actually super fun and super cute. You guys know that I love a movie with strong themes of sisterhood and girlfriends. So this movie is so much fun, especially if you've ever felt semi-ostracized by your friend group. If you go to the movies to catch cute little rom-coms, you're gonna love this movie, and I definitely think it's worth seeing in theaters. Next, we have Tony. Tony is kind of like a biopic movie, but it's one of the biopics that doesn't go over their whole life story. It's just kind of the most pivotal part of their life as we know it from a public view. And it's pretty good. It's a pretty good movie. Again, not necessarily for me, but I can understand it being good for what it is and the audience it is directed towards. If you really liked Marty Supreme when that movie came out last December, you'll probably really like Tony. And then we have probably my favorite movie that's in theaters right now, Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma. I loved this movie. I love something sapphic, and I love something campy and fun and silly, especially when it's a little bit otherworldly. So I loved this movie. It is so funny. It is so entertaining, and it is 2 hours long, but I would say it was pretty well paced. The second act did drag a little bit, so maybe that's a good time to go to the bathroom if you're a movie peer. But it is so good, and I do actually really recommend seeing this one in theaters if you love silly, fun camp movies, if you love lesbian movies, and if you are a horror adjacent enjoyer. Next, we have The Magic Fairway Tree. This movie was actually really cute. I did not know what this movie was at all going into it. I saw it as an AMC Unseen movie, meaning I went into the theater not knowing what movie I was going to be seeing at all. It was actually really cute. Low-key super stacked cast. Andrew Garfield in his prime with facial hair. If you think Andrew Garfield is attractive, you're gonna soak your seat, but we need to be inclusive for those with penises and other things on this podcast. It is a children's movie. It's whimsical, it's fun, but everybody is gorgeous. This movie is so beautiful and filled with beautiful people, but it is so cute. And it reminded me so much of this book series I read growing up called Fablehaven. So if you read Fablehaven, 1, hit my line because I need to talk to someone about that book series. And 2, watch The Magic Fairway Tree because it was actually really cute. Then we have the new Insidious movie, Insidious Out of the Further. Now, I am not a huge Insidious fan, even though I am a huge horror fan, but this movie was pretty good. I would say it's on par with Insidious 1 and 2, which everybody knows are the best installments of that franchise. And I love a horror movie that at its core is a metaphor for some big issue that we all are talking about in therapy. This one being generational trauma and the push and pull of a mother and daughter relationship as you grow up and grow into each other, especially if the relationship is strenuous. This movie is really beautiful when it kind of talks about that theme. Overall, I would say it's not super gory, if that is what turns you off in horror movies. And it has some really fun pop scares. I actually had a really fun time watching this movie. It's a fun, good horror movie. Next, we have Spider-Man Brand New Day, which you can go back a couple episodes and listen to my full review of. Go see this movie in theaters. Go see this movie in theaters. Go see every Spider-Man movie in theaters. If you're a Marvel fan, I'm sure you already have seen it. If you're Marvel curious, definitely go see it. I feel like this is one of the best Marvel movies to come out in the last 10 years, at least since like Endgame and Infinity War. And then we have Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, which, again, you can go back and listen to my 30-minute long full review of this movie if you're really that curious. Hot take, I don't think you need to see this movie in theaters. Seeing it in 70mm is cool, and in IMAX is cool because you do get to see the full frame. But I do have an aversion to movies that make you pay to go to a specific, more expensive theater to get the quote-unquote full experience watching. It just feels a type of way to me. It feels super weird. It's honestly kind of classist in my opinion, but that's what I expect from a director like Christopher Nolan. And it is good. From a technical level, this movie is good. It is incredibly impressive. However, I think you can wait to watch this one on HBO. I don't really think that it's worth your money. And if you did think it was worth your money, then you've probably already seen it. But if you haven't seen The Odyssey yet, I don't think you need to see it in theaters. I'm so sorry. Anne Hathaway has been on such an insane movie theater streak this year, and she will continue to be. I think she has 2 more projects coming out this year alone, but she has a movie out in theaters right now called The End of Oak Street with Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, the kid from Sweet Tooth on Netflix, and the younger girl from My Old Ass. And even though the cast is stacked for this movie is bad. This movie is really weird, and it's silly and it's fun, and I don't think it's supposed to be groundbreaking or good. You can tell that this is just a group of like kind of rich, successful people coming together to make a fun movie for fun. I don't think it's a very good movie, and I don't think it's something you need to pay to see in theaters. A lot of the cinematography is really weird. There's this one sequence where the main family that the story follows are all sitting in a circle in like their living room having a conversation, and the way it's shot is so fucking disorienting and weird. And I knew that they were like being artistic and they're like trying things because it's just for fun. It's a passion project, but like keep your weird ass passion project out of my theaters. This genuinely felt like a student film. Then we have One Night Only. I actually enjoyed One Night Only a lot more than I thought I was going to. This movie is super, super cute. It's silly. I did have issues with the ending, but if you want to see how I would have rewritten the ending, I posted that on my Instagram a couple weeks ago. But overall, this is a super cute rom-com. Everyone is gorgeous in it, which is what I expect when I go to the movie theater to see a rom-com. If I'm going to sit down and watch a messy, melodramatic retelling of a slightly dystopian romance, everybody better be sexy, and they are in this movie. So I was very happy with it. Next, we have It Ends. It Ends is a newer horror movie that's based off of like a local folklore about this like never-ending road that's like kind of cursed. I also saw this as an AMC Unseen movie, so I didn't know I was going to see it when I did. And if I did know I was going to see it, I wouldn't have. This movie is bad. I think it's kind of boring. It has a cool message, and the director is super, super young. And I love that we're getting this new generation of talent in the box offices, predominantly in horror, but that's a conversation for another time. Unfortunately, this movie just didn't do it for me. And then, of course, the Studio Ghibli Fest is back in AMC Theaters. And if you've never seen a Studio Ghibli movie, you're not like a Ponyo, My Neighbor Totoro, Spirited Away type of person, but you enjoy animation and animated movies, I really cannot recommend catching these movies in theaters enough. I love Studio Ghibli movies, and I try to see as many of them as I can when the festival comes to theaters every single year. They screen all of the movies, and really you can pick any of them, and I guarantee you'll have a pretty pleasant experience. There are a few that are absolutely devastating, and then there are a few that are a little bit more fun and whimsical. My favorites being Howl's Moving Castle, Ponyo, and if I feel like killing myself, Grave of Fireflies. But overall, the theater's on a pretty good run right now, and we're about to hit the holiday season, so it's about to go insane with Doomsday and Dune, which actually pushed up its release so it wasn't competing with Marvel's Doomsday, which I think is really interesting, but we will be talking more about that when we get to that point in our movie journey. That being said, have a great week, everybody, and I will see you next Monday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard.